How do you define anime? Doesn't matter. Here's how the best dictionary in the world, Oxford, defines it. Anime, noun. A style of Japanese film and television animation, typically aimed at adults as well as children. So right off the bat, I'm going to make these words clear. Anime is Japanese, but there's a lot more to it than that. What about Avatar, huh? That looks like an anime, doesn't it? What about that thing Monteyomi's doing? That looks like an anime too, right? You know what? Let me backtrack this to a neutral point. Hello and welcome to Anime Editorial. I'm your host Nino, and today we're going to discuss a very stupid topic. A topic I'm kinda sad I have to make a video about, but one that people still talk a lot about nonetheless, so let's get rolling. Part 1. Using the style means one thing, being the style is another. I'm going to assume everyone watching this video is an avid fan of the anime art style. The big eyes, the pointy noses and chins, the slender bodies, the spiky hair, it's just marvelous. And despite what a lot of students in art school might tell you, the anime art style has done a lot of good in influencing Western design choices. It's given a new generation of artists a different lens to look at art with, and it's made developing a style a lot easier, because instead of developing a style from the ground up, they can use a variant of a style and build that into their own unique work. So what does this have to do with defining anime? Well, a lot more than you might think. Back in the early 2000s, during the second Western anime boom, around the time when people like me were hooked on Pokemon, Digimon and Naruto, Western executives caught on to this and figured out a great idea was to make shows that emulated the art styles of Japanese works, or at least looked slightly similar. Shows that come to mind are Teen Titans, Ben 10, Shaolin Showdown, 3 Delivery, hell even the second season of Chaotix, which art styles to look more like an anime. So it became common for American cartoons to ape the anime art style. I mean yeah, that's common knowledge. But we never had any arguments on whether or not Americans could make anime. No. Not until one particular show came along. Do I even need to say it? Avatar is as close as America is ever going to get to making a bona fide anime. Big anime like eyes? Check. Story about an evil government with a ragtag band of heroes out to destroy them? Check. Fight scenes that make you want to jump up in awe of just how awesome they are? Check. Giant Tumblr following? Check. Disappointing follow-up series? Oh hell yeah. Don't worry Korra, we're gonna get back to you soon. What kind of fucking Avatar starts a civil war? Avatar basically has everything it takes to be called an anime. So after all this, after all I just said, would I call Avatar The Last Airbender an anime? No I wouldn't. Like those smart folks at Oxford said, anime is Japanese, and just because a show is made to look ostensibly Japanese doesn't mean it's Japanese. Now, because I know there are a lot of people who will take to the comments and say that there are holes in this argument, to them I'll say, yes there are. In fact, I'll take some time to point one of them out. The second season of The Legend of Korra was handled by Japanese animation studio Period, who are known for their work on such cult classics as Tailed Beast Shuriken Adventures and Samurai Spirit Busters. So it's being done by Japanese people, and it's drawn in a very Japanese art style. The only difference is it's being paid for and written by Americans. Why do I say it's not an anime? Because Avatar The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra after it are works of inspiration. It's using the anime art style as an homage to actual anime made by the Japanese. The show looks like an anime, feels like an anime, and plays out like one, but it's still inspired. It's still just using the anime art style while being a Western show. Because thematically, Avatar The Last Airbender is a very Western show. I don't need to go into great detail on why, but the ideals and themes discussed in Avatar are themes that are much more in line with Western thoughts and feelings. Uniting the world to declare war against one fascist dictatorship, fear of terrorist groups who want quote-unquote equality, all that jazz. Avatar The Last Airbender, as well as multiple other shows which use the anime art style, are not anime. They are shows which are inspired by anime. Don't get me wrong, the Japanese have been inspired by us too. Just look at Panty and Stocking, Little Witch Academia and Dead Leaves. If you took Dead Leaves, ran it on Adult Swim right after Robot Chicken and told me it was made by William Street, I would not argue with you at all. Well, actually I might, considering it's a show done by William Street that consists of more than 12 frames per second, but I digress. There are anime that by all intents and purposes should be called cartoons or Western style shows, but they aren't because they're not. They are Japanese shows made to look Western. Part 2. Why the fuck does it matter? No, seriously, why? A while back, this show called RWBY came out. Wait, it's pronounced Ruby? How the fuck do you get a U sound from W? That's not fucking English. It was the first original series made by internet content creator Juggernaut Rooster Teeth, with animation work mostly being done by Monteyomi of Dead Fantasy fame. So why am I talking about Ruby all of a sudden? Well, first off...
Are you robbing me?
Secondly... And third, RWBY is an internet fan animated series that is really anime inspired. And wouldn't you know it, there are people who want to call this a bona fide anime too. So much so that it's made its way onto Crunchyroll as an offered series. Obviously you know what my thoughts on it are. It's not an anime, it's just neck deep in the anime art style. But that's not what I'm here to say. I'm here to ask a question. RWBY isn't an anime. Why does that matter? Why does it matter if a show you like that happens to look like an anime is called one? It doesn't make the animation any better, it doesn't enrich the story, and it doesn't make its characters any more relatable. All those factors exist as they are regardless of whether you decide to label it as an anime or not. For the longest time, anime fans who are drawn to anime inspired works decide to label these works not after some need to properly define it, but to label it as anime, because they really like anime, and they want this new thing they like to be called an anime too, and they will defend their label by deciding to stretch the fundamental definition of what the term anime means. They'll say that anime is short for animation, so any animation can be called an anime, which means them calling whatever they want an anime is fine. You've already got the idea that the style is part of what makes up the term, and I've already explained my stance on that, so I'll move on. Then you've got the people who say that anime isn't fundamentally Japanese because a lot of in-betweens are developed in Korea. So if Koreans are working on anime, then Western shows that are made in Korea are the same classification of an anime, and now I've gone cross-eyed. Then you've got the people who say that in Japan they call anything animated an anime. To that I simply ask, are you Japanese? Well, if not, then why do what Japanese people do? People say anime means Japanese animation. People say anime means stylized animation. People say anime means a lot of things. But let me tell you one thing anime doesn't mean. Good. Anime is not a synonym for good work of animation. A Western show being called an anime doesn't make it better. It's not a title of quality. It's not something that a show gets emblazoned with when it's good enough. There are countless anime out there that suck balls. If there weren't, then anime reviews would be boring as shit to watch because there would be nothing but bland praise all the time. And on the flip side, there are Western shows out there that blow most popular anime out of the park. Hell, the average Disney movie is packed with better animation than the big three combined, and Avatar is more fluidly animated than most highly praised anime. The fact that you happen to like a lot of anime, and the fact that you happen to like a lot of the Western shows that look like anime, does not mean that any magical thing happens when you call an anime-inspired show an anime. What I'm saying is this: let anime mean what it means, Japanese animation. Let anime made in the West be Western animation. Don't give it a Japanese label, it doesn't need one. Sayonara minasan, thanks for watching.